Ever wonder what do you need to do to make your resume stand out from the rest? Or have you thought about what are the hiring leaders looking for when they come across your resume? I'm going to share with you today 3 tips that will help your resume stand out for the crowd. So the first tip that I have for you is getting rid of the objective section in your resume. So what I can tell you here is that most hiring leaders, if not all, don't read the objective section. A lot of the information in there is not very valuable. Most people write down, I am looking for a position that can challenge me, and things like that, right? So that's not very valuable for me if I'm trying to get to know you. So my recommendation to you would be is replace the objective section with the section that has your personal profile or your professional profile. In that section, I want you to put in all the information that sort of makes up who you are professionally. And if you don't have a long-standing career, include some information about your interests, some of the things that you're passionate about. Talk about competencies that you have, whether or not you have experience in customer service, which a lot of us do, whether or not you have experience doing reconciliation of financials. I had a young man that gave me his resume and he was working for Uber, right? So there's a lot of things that you can take from your experiences in working from Uber, which is you've got experience in managing schedule, you've got experience managing your financials. So these are the kind of things that you can include in the professional profile of your resume. Tip number 2 is to include a section that's going to be titled Selected Accomplishments, okay? This is really important. This is where the meat of your resume is going to sort of stand out. So here's where you're going to put all the things where so here's the section where you're going to put down all of your accomplishments, all the things that you've made an impact, okay? So this is the area where you're demonstrating that you've taken any process or any job that you had from a starting point to its current position, and you are demonstrating where you've added value, right? So this is really important because this is where a hiring leader can identify the competencies that you're going to bring to the organization. So one of the things that I've always focused on is measuring the starting point from any process or initiative that I've sort of been involved in, and then sort of measuring it over time to talk about where it is today. So that includes decreases or increases in any particular thing. One of the formulas that I've used to be able to calculate is in Excel. You can take that formula or with a calculator and basically say what the new number is versus the old. New minus old divided by the old will give you the percentage increase or decrease. And this is a way that you can begin to track the impact that you're making on whatever process or responsibility that you have, right? So that's very important. Another suggestion that I have is keep a running log of accomplishments that you've had over time, so that way you can include it in your selected accomplishment. As you start to refresh your resume, you're going to start to put the ones that have the biggest impact higher up in the sequence, so that way people can see that, especially those that have a monetary value. So for instance, there was a period of time that I was involved in a hurricane shutdown. So there were some activities that I needed to do to make sure that $100 million worth of payments got through to the designated location. So there I talked about mitigated a loss of $100 million due to or through some hurricane mitigation activities, right? So these are the little things that you can put down that will talk about your skills as well as your accomplishments with the responsibilities that you have. The third tip that I want to share with you today is using your responsibilities to highlight the tasks or the areas where your current employer has asked you to sort of be responsible for things. So this is where you're listing your current employers or your past employers, the time frame that you've been with them, as well as the task or duties that you have, right? Basically a sort of replication of your job description. Now here again, don't mix the information that you have in your selected accomplishments in your responsibilities section, because you don't want to duplicate the same information. So this area is basically where you say these are all the things that I am responsible for, and combined with selected accomplishments, it gives a nice sort of combination or duality of information where you're saying not only do I have these responsibilities, but here's what I've been able to do with these responsibilities. the last suggestion that I have for you is invest in a professional resume writing resource. Okay, now even if it costs you $200 to have somebody beef up your resume with very targeted words and things like that, it is well worth it. If you're spending $200 and you wind up getting a job that's making you, $50,000, $60,000, $40,000, then in essence it paid for itself. So it's really important. And the last suggestion that I have is, before you submit your resume, look at the responsibilities and qualifications that have been sort of placed in the job description, and make sure you take some of those keywords and put them back into your resume, because there are a lot of services that do what is called a keyword search or natural language processing, which is looking at words to identify who has the skill sets that are associated with the position. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe to these videos, and if you have any suggestions or comments around other videos that you would like to see, please make sure you leave that in the comment box. Thank you for watching Rapid Mastery Coaching.